Steve.
Let's get to a team that's not been overrated. That's the Guardians. Nobody thought they'd be any good going into the season. They did lose last night, and McKenzie was cruising there, and then he gives it the big home run. Was it Bogarts that hit it? I think it was Bogarts. I can't remember now who hit the home run. I think it was Bogarts. And obviously, they miss an opportunity there. They lose. So on this road trip, they now go to play Tampa Bay this weekend. They have split the first 8 games. It's a very tough road trip. I was hoping they'd go 6-5. They can still do it if they take 2 out of 3 from Tampa. Then they come home and play a bad Arizona team and then a very good Houston team.
Right. Houston won.
But how surprised are you guys that the Guardians are where they are? Very much in the mix for the division and the wild cards. Really, they're right there with every team outside of Houston and the Yankees in the American League.
Surprised. I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. I was hopeful for this to be the case in this scenario, and they just kind of answered my wishes. Minnesota's tough, man. I think they can get it done. It's that Houston and that Rays one gonna be pretty tough. But they can get up in the post. Who does Minnesota play? Did we got that? Who they playing?
No, I don't think we have their schedule handy. But it doesn't matter. You can't. Right now, it's still too early. You can't worry about who the other team's playing. You got to take care of your business.
Listen, I still think they got to make a trade for
they got to make a couple of trades. Because I brought up one trade yesterday.
That's the only way they're going to have a shot.
Well, I mean, they're here. I'm surprised, right? I don't think anybody around here telling you that they thought they were going to be in the mix like this is probably dreaming, right?
I was dreaming. I said that.
We're in a great position. And I told you every game, every series after the All-Star break was going to make it a very important series for the Guardians. We're in a great position.
Yeah.
We have a chance.
Yes.
Now, I also believe that you got to make a move. I mean, you're in the mix here. You cannot say I'm 10 games back. I don't have to do a thing. You're in the mix here. You have to show this fan base that you are committed to their dollars that you want to come to the turnstile.
Jose ain't leave that money on the table for nothing.
The trade deadline is Tuesday at 6 p.m.
You know, I think, and sometimes really diehard Guardians fans don't understand it, right? Because in their heart, baseball people are baseball people. They want to support baseball. They want to support the Guardians, right? And so when people that are in the fringes say, well, listen, man, you call me when they decide they act like they want to win. And you say, but they're competitive. They do want to win. No. See, the goal isn't competitive, right? At some point in time, you got to realize that to get the fringe fan, you actually have to reach out and say, look, let me just show you this, right?
Right.
Have you ever, like, you go home and your wife, right? She don't want you spending no money, right? Right? But she wants you, if you show her something, hey, look at this, honey. This works for me and you. Look at this.
Yeah.
And I could have got it. I got it for $200 less than what I could have got it.
Oh, yeah.
And now, okay, look, you look like you done got her a deal. You being frugal, and you thinking about the both of y'all, and you win. But if you come up in the house and you ain't never brought nothing in there, and the first thing you get is a pair of shoes, we're not looking at that. The Guardians have to come in and say, look, hey, I understand this is a Browns town. I understand that the Cavs we compete with the Cavs, but we got to make moves because the Cavs is making moves. There is Garland, Mobley. And I always want to say that economically, you're competing for those entertainment dollars.
All right, well, let me ask you this, guys, because none of you guys are diehard baseball fans, right? You guys, obviously, you pay attention.
I'm an athlete, so.
But you're not diehard. You're not locked into every game.
No, I'm not locked into every game.
Right? You're not like Jay and me who are like total nerds about baseball. So if the Guardians make some really, like, big moves, they go get a real legitimate hitting catcher, they go get another starting pitcher, maybe get a good outfielder, whatever. Are you more interested? Are you more locked in?
I'm invested in because now I see, well, okay, now when we play the Yankees, I feel like we got a chance. If they play the Yankees today, you in a series, you 3-4-1.
Bull said
Maybe you get one game or you get swept.
Wait a minute. Bull said that baseball is so unpredictable.
Not when the gap.
That's what he said.
Not when the gap.
Listen, that's the one thing, the one advantage that baseball has over the other sports.
See?
You could look at it that way. Is that, I mean, think about when the Guardians, at the time the Indians, went to the World Series.
Yeah. Yep.
They had half the pitching staff was out. They were not the better team in any of those series, and they won them all and fell just one game short against the Cubs. And the Cubs at the time, considering what the Indians roster looked like at the time, had a significantly better roster. The Cubs were completely healthy. The Indians were not, and yet they played right with them.
They got us Andrew Miller though.
Exactly. So if they could, the biggest hole to me right now is they have like 2 or 3 massive holes in their lineup. If they did this blockbuster Cubs trade that I talked about yesterday, and they got Contreras and Ian Happ, well, now all of a sudden you have a legit middle of the lineup, and that's a whole different story. I doubt they would make a trade of that magnitude. I'm not that optimistic they're going to do anything significant, but I hope I'm wrong because I do think it will spark interest if they make some significant moves.
So this is a sports town, and it will respond to those who are ascending to try to get to the top. The Guardians are in a position that they can make some moves.
Yeah.
The question is, financially, do they want to do that?
Yeah.
Do they want to parlay and put the cash out there to do it? But you have a chance.
Yeah.
And this town has shown in the past that they will respond to winning teams. I don't care if it's the Cavaliers, the Browns, the Indians, they will respond. To G's point, those on the fringes are sitting back like, okay.
Show me something.
We've seen this movie before.
Right.
I could take my dollars and take them somewhere else, right? Until you show me that you all in, then I'm going to stay out.
And it's amazing if you think about it, what an advantage they have as a franchise in terms of front office and manager, because they have been the most successful franchise in this city for the most part for the last 30 years. They're consistently in the mix. They're never or they're very rarely terrible, and they've been in the playoffs a ton of times. And baseball, of the 3 sports, is the hardest to make the playoffs, least amount of teams, and yet even with their lower payroll now. 15, 16, 17, they had a significantly higher payroll than they have now, and they need to get back to that. There's no excuse for them not to spend some money. Their payroll is ridiculously low. The team has overachieved. The manager's done a great job. We know the front office rarely gets it wrong when they make a trade.
Yep.
So you got to show faith in your front office, your manager, and the players that have performed so far and give them more ammunition.
And you just said sometimes, you said Jose Ramirez gave money back.
That's right.
Left it on the
ton
table.
Of money. A ton.
Left it on the table, and you better do something. I'm sure if I was Jose, I would be the first in that office every day. Like, if that was the case, give me the money.
Yeah, right.
Give me my money, because if y'all gonna let it just sit there, then it could go in my pocket.
Right. That's a great point, because he took under market. He took more under market value than maybe any baseball player I've ever seen. That was not, that was about to become a free agent, not like a young player who's still pre-arbitration and something like that.
And if you telling me, and all I hear this all the time, if you telling me that you got the best front office in terms of making moves, you got one of the best farm systems, and you got a manager that you believe is the best in X's
and O's. Give him the weapons.
If you give him a couple things,
even if
you give him, he's gonna be able to work with that. And in 16, I watched more games, just as many games in terms of day by day with the Cavs, who were NBA Finals champs, and with the Indians at the time. I watched and went to at least 10 games, and watched a substantial amount, 30, 40 games on TV. Now that's because I knew what I was watching. They was competing at the highest level.
Even if you willing to make these trades, even if, because Shane Bieber's name has been buzzing.
Well, that might be something where they trade. The Indians have done this in the past. They buy and sell at the same time.
Right.
They did it when they traded Bauer. They did it when they traded Clevenger. How'd those trades work out? Pretty damn good.
Yeah, they did.
Right? And Bieber's not going to sign a long-term extension, so if you feel like you can get a lot for him and then get another young pitcher in his place and get some hitters, I got no problem with that. Bieber's not been great anyway. He's been good. But
is it?
They need a pitcher, though. So I don't know that they'll trade Bieber. I think they won't. But I wouldn't stun me if they did, but I don't think they will.
If they only give you one,
Yeah.
they say we can give you an arm or we can give you.
I gotta get a catcher that can hit. If they can only do one thing, if they only spend legit money on one guy, you got to go get Wilson Contreras. He is top 5, maybe top 2 hitting catchers in the league, and he makes a huge difference. You are getting nothing out of that position offensively. And while I'll admit that Hedges and Maley are a little better than Contreras on the defensive side, Contreras is completely adequate defensively. He's solid. He's not bad. It's not like he's a negative. He's just, more near the middle in terms of defense. But from what they have to him offensively is like going from Baker to Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
I tell you what, if Hedges makes it past the trade deadline, I'm going to get you a jersey.
I will wear it if you buy it.
I'm gonna buy it.
I think it'll be on the clearance rack for 99 cents, so it won't cost you much. All right. Why would you even make that jersey?